Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. This is Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for allowing me to be part of your day again. You guys, there's getting more and more of you, and I thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. There's been a few people that have hit me up on my older videos, the first videos when I was like, more or less sticking up for Aaron. And it was before the Juliana incident, and they said that I flip-flopped. And I explained that I did because, I'm more than just a black and white person. I think Aaron did some great things. I think Aaron's behavior in several instances was atrocious. And I totally still believe he should have been kicked off the board, because I do believe that how you behave outside in the real world, even though it's your personal time, it's everybody else's time too, and you should be held accountable for that. So I understand some people have a hard time with complexity, but it's really very simple. Aaron, I think, raised a lot of money for the Aftermath Foundation. I think they're feeling it now. And I think he was still an asshole in several situations. I'm sure, and I don't mean to be rude, but I do mean to say this. If you can't understand that, I'm sure that there's channels out there that can explain how people are more than one or two dimensional. Okay? Guys, Danny Masterson. First of all, let me just say that I put that out there because as I've been getting more people, I've been getting attacked a little bit, and I'm not going to be. I'm just not going to be. If you don't like the channel, you can leave. But I'm not going to let you say rude things about me, and I'm not going to stick up for myself. I am going to stick up for myself. Of course I am. I have every right to. And if you don't like the channel, change it. Change it. It's very easy. There's probably a channel that tells you how to change a channel. For the rest of you guys that enjoy the content, or, listen, we're not always going to agree, and that's fine. But the way we disagree is what matters. And, that's what I welcome. Anyway, guys, about Danny Masterson, California Men's Colony. So, it's the softest of the softest of the softest. So, he's in a yard with people that are like my age. People, I'm not saying they weren't dangerous at a certain time and that things can't happen now. He definitely is in with a cellie. He has a cellmate, so that means when the doors close at night and those bars slam shut, and I know what that sounds like because, as you guys know, I've worked in a jail. Prison cell doors and jail cell doors, they sound the same, I can tell you that. So, at least to the civilians that work there, not to the people that have had that prison cell door slammed, because that's more permanent than a jail cell door. Remember, I said everybody that's been to prison started in jail, but not everybody that's been to jail has been to prison, right? So Danny has a cellie, and the guy's about 65 years old, and from my understanding, he needs a wheelchair, and Danny's got to tote him around. So Danny's like a gold coat. Now, I did a video on the facility that Danny's in, and it kind of talked about these older people that take care of people that have dementia, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tag that video. I hope I remember to put that video on here so that you guys can see the program that I'm talking about. So Danny, if he's pushing somebody around and getting out of his cell like that, then Danny, being a gold coat, makes him a trustee. And a trustee in a jail or a prison is an inmate that works in the facility. They get a very little bit of amount of money, but the real reason why they want to have a job is so that they are outside of their cell and not doing really hard time inside. But, Danny, I'm sure, is very nervous because he's in there with people that anything can happen. But the truth is this: why is Danny there? There are people that have done less of what Danny's done, and they're not being protected like Danny. Is that fair? Is this enough punishment? What do you think that those women, the Jane Does, how do you think that they are feeling knowing that Danny is being protected from people like Danny when they weren't and they hadn't been? So what do you think of that? Do you think that that's fair, that he's gotten this special treatment? And I think that the social media people, the content creators, are guilty, because I think what we've done is we've protected Danny, in essence, because we've known things that have come out through the facilities that he's been in, and they've been leaked on social media, and we've shared it. I've gotten a lot of this information from Collective Clips. I'm going to go ahead and put his channel down there again. He's got some great information, a lot of great stories, and I think he's a great content creator. He seems to be very real. So I think that it's really not fair to the other people that are doing hard time white knuckling it in prison. Is it enough that he's taken out of society so that we are safe from him? What if it wasn't Danny Masterson? Is that enough of a punishment? I mean, it was violent what he did, with no remorse. But he went from a level 4 to like a 2+. You know what I'm saying? Is it fair for others? Is that right? What do you guys think about that? Do you think that there is enough punishment in him being in this cushy place? Do you think it's fair that he's in this cushy place? And what about people that have done less of a crime than him? Or maybe did what Danny did one time? And they're in another facility. And anything can happen to them. Guys, I used to sell greeting cards a long time ago. In the 80s, late 80s, I came up with a greeting card company that I used to go around and sell in the stores. And actually, it was probably the mid 80s that I did that. And so, you had to go to an awful lot of card stores to sell and make any kind of money. Anyway, I got sick of doing that. I took all my inventory and I kept them. Years later, as you guys know, I used to work in a jail. So when I worked in the jail, I one day was helping some inmates in the kitchen area, because I would, a lot of the inmates couldn't even push a broom, let alone have anything that they could do when they got out of jail to make their life any better. And I worked in a jail, so most of the time the people were going to get out because the trustees in the jail weren't hard, violent criminals. So a lot of times they even could finish their sentence in the jail. So there was a lot of incentive for good behavior and such, so they were able to work in the kitchen and the commissaries and stuff like that. Anyway, I went to get one of the inmates because I noticed he wasn't on the food line serving, and that was kind of like an assembly line, but with people. Like one guy put in the peas, one guy put on the mashed potatoes, one guy put on the meat, one guy put on the bread and the butter. Sometimes we had the same guy put on the bread and butter. But anyway, seriously, if we had 21 inmates, then we had a bread and a butter guy. If we had 20 inmates, we had a bread guy. Anyway, as it got shorter, as we got less inmates, they'd have to multitask. It's serious, though. Anyway, So I saw the inmate wasn't there, and I was like, yo, man, you got to come on. And he was like, oh, man, please let me just finish this up, Toddy. It's just a poem. I'm just writing it for my girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll take your place on the line as long as when you're done with the poem, you show me the poem. Okay, fair enough? So they said, yeah. So that happened. And then at the end, he came up to me in the middle of the service and everything took place and gave me the poem to read. And it was good. It was really good. And I said to him, man, that was really good. I said, the reason why I let you do that is because I write too. And he said, oh, man, I'd love to read you writing. Da, 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 da. And I said, all right. So the next day I came in, all my writing was done in those greeting cards, right? So I come in there with the greeting cards, about 4 greeting cards. And they were really wordy. Anybody that has mask greeting cards, I know some of you guys that are inmates have mask greeting cards. Look at the back of the cards. They're really wordy cards. Hit me up. I am mask. Anyway, so it was mask, unmasking the emotion of the moment. Anyway, seriously, so I showed him those. It was at a time when they were still smoking in the jail, and that was the currency at the time, cigarettes and stuff. So all these inmates were hitting me up for all my cards and stuff, and they weren't selling. They didn't sell cards in the county jail. They didn't sell cards in the jails at this point. I'm telling you, they didn't sell cards in the jails. So I had all this inventory, and I asked the director at the time if I could please sell the cards. So I think I sold the cards for $1.25 each, and the jail kept 25 cents and I kept the $1. And these cards went everywhere. But here's the thing. The inmates would buy, like, I probably had 12 or 15 different cards at the time. And they were along the lines of Blue Mountain art cards. If anybody remembers Blue Mountain art cards, very wordy from the heart. An inmate, and this happened with several inmates, they would buy 5 of the same card. And they would send them to 5 different girls. No lie. And those 5 women would think that they're all getting the same, all getting one card. And they don't even know about the others. And they'd send money on the books. I kind of felt bad about that, to be honest with you. But that's not the intention of what my cards were for. And as that picked up, I started getting more jails and stuff. And as I moved to upstate New York, I was selling in the prison systems up here. And that's why I'd spent some time in the prison systems up here, because I'd meet with trustees, actually, up here in upstate New York. And I also dealt with the county jail. So that's what I ended up doing. And then I came up with, I had a friend that was an artist, and they did these really intricate black and white drawings. Real intricate black and white drawings. And I thought, man, those would be great coloring books. And so I had them made up to they were probably 12 by 16 or 14 by 16 on cardstock. And there were 8 designs. And you guys, inmates that have these coloring books, these were before there were any kind of coloring books for adults. They weren't adult themed. They were just really intricate coloring books. And this larger company came in and asked to buy my inventory, and the name of that company was Access Catalog. I don't know what happened to my camera right there, but not only did I work in the jails as a full-time job, but that's why I'm affiliated with some prison systems and such like that. So, and I know a little bit about the culture from working there, but also the inmates are just, they could be seriously, and when an inmate is comfortable, they could be an open book if they trust you, because, but anyway, all that in saying, I don't know what Danny Masterson's going to do as far as his hustle goes, or what's going on there, where he's at. But in honesty, truthful, what do you guys think of where he's at, and if it's fair that he's there? Do you think he's safe? Do you think that we helped put him there? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tag that video that shows where he's at and a little bit about what the gold coats are. And I hope I didn't bore you with my personal story about the greeting cards, but a lot of you like to hear personal stories. The newer ones, maybe not so much. I don't know. And we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you don't like me, you can unsubscribe. Easy peasy. I won't come after you. Please, tell me what you think in the comments and stuff. I do go into the comments. I appreciate the comments. I really appreciate the comments. But you have to allow people to grow. And if somebody says, wow, my opinion of that person has changed because of an action that they did, that's not making somebody talk out of both sides of their mouth. That's somebody saying, wow, fucking disappointed about that person. How messed up is that? Wow, look at what they did over there too. Oh my gosh. But they did raise a lot of money for Scientology. Yeah, they did. Both could be true. That's all I'm saying about what I said at the beginning. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, thanks. I appreciate you. Be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you're going to be tomorrow. Even my dog says so. Thanks, guys. Bye.